Greetings. Welcome to my Vampire Diary, episode 10. My name is Mo Haret Jezebel Morgan Moon, and this is my Vampire Diary excerpt number 10. Like I said, I will be using the Tarot of Vampyres, and we will be drawing a card and reading from the book Phantasmagoria by Ian Daniels. Blessings to you, young and old. Blessings to you, those who have been here, those who are coming for the first time, those who are returning. Welcome. We all have, at least I think we all have, an attraction to vampires. We all wish we could be immortally beautiful, powerful, rich. We got a card. Rich in experiences. We wish we could live for hundreds of years and see the world change over time and be able to speak about it, be able to read quickly, be able to understand, to learn, to see the beauty in detail of the things around us. And I think it's possible. I think that it's possible to see the way a vampire sees. And when I talk about vampires, I'm talking, of course, of Anne Rice's characters in her novels and the magic that comes from those novels. So we have the 10 of Knives. Very interesting. It's the same picture as the book. The 10 of Knives. I don't know if all of you or any of you have ever had a chance to delve into the fantasy of the vampire. Whether in reading or in experience in life. I'm sure that there must have been some time in your life where you wished that you could just be invisible and that you could just be hidden from the world and just move through the world so gently that no one would notice you. I think that's what happens with vampires when they are born into the night. They are born into the dark gift. They have the ability to just not be seen and to just disappear into the night, just disappear into their environment, and they can be seen when they want to be seen, and they can just disappear when they want to disappear. And especially as an adolescent growing up and in my 20s, I went through, as we all do, a difficult period of being alive, and I just identified with the feeling of wanting to be dead, wanting to just be alive but not be seen, and just be quiet and to just enjoy my senses. So the 10 of Knives, alchemy, sun in Gemini, kingdom of Malkuth, of air, manifestation of intellectual consciousness, kindred spirits, Dambaya and Menekil, the essence. The manifestation of thought, death and transformation through conflicts or troubles. A final strike resulting in rejuvenation, a last victorious stand, abandonment, departure, regaining a position, ruin of old structures, resignation, conclusion, great change through the depths of despair, finding our place in the world, sacrifice. I feel like that's what I was just talking about to you before we drew this card, of just finding our place in the world and resigning, great change through the depth of despair, which is how we change, right? We change through despair. We evolve, we metamorphose into something new. So the message of this card, when this card appears, it can present itself as a need to put to death an old habit or depart from a painful entanglement. It can instigate a revolt or final blow to destroy stifling situations or inner conflict. This destruction, abandonment, or separation from a negative energy or issue is an act of liberation, freeing the mind from the tumult of suffering. This can be a bold and necessary act of defiance, or one of driving a final blow that destroys a poisonous entanglement. This can result in great change and eventual peace. Sometimes this ruin is not instigated by us, so it can be a very painful experience. It can refer to the end or ruin of a comfortable situation, of a relationship, or our plans and projects. In general terms, the Ten of Knives signifies the destruction of order or harmony, or of any stabilized or fossilized energy. This can be the breakdown of any structure, whether it be something positive or negative. In either case, it is a final letting go of the past or of habits and behavior, which leads to renewal of the whole structure. The card is about a final conclusion and the end of a cycle. It can be the essential conclusion of a process or the relief felt when a stressful project or situation is over. We may be feeling completely drained from an issue or feel that everything is lost or ruined. Since there is nothing more to lose, we may just as well risk a new beginning. If related to work, this card can refer to resignation, discontinuance, or an end to a job or project. In relationships, it can be the final stake driven between two people, the end of a friendship, or the departure of a loved one. It may be a signal that we must finally put to death an issue that has come between two people and move on to a fresh understanding, leaving the issue in the past. The separation or cutting away of something that hinders the relationship creates a deeper, more loving union. The Ten of Knives can be a warning that we must not be too hasty or rash, that we should give careful thought before we sever ties or cause a final separation. When we are certain that it is the most necessary action, then the final blow must be clean, penetrating, and conclusive. Just like the woman with the knife in her rib cage here. It's a final blow. Analysis and symbolism. In her fossilized chamber, the succumbus is on the verge of death. The stake has been hammered into her heart, and all seems lost. The last flow of lifeblood seeps from her heart. This blood is rich from her eternal journeying, and it bleeds into the black rose, bringing the hope of a new dawn. This theme of death, transformation, and rebirth is further illustrated by the head hawk moth close to her. There's a moth right there. Has she breathed her final gasp, or is she gathering her ebbing energies for one last deadly attack, which, if successful, will allow her to feed again and thus rejuvenate? The card can represent a last-ditch, all-out offensive that is the only option when all seems lost. One last blow to free her from her prison. Perhaps she will allow herself to embrace death, to slip unrestrained into the arms of her eternal lover. The Ten of Knives refers to a climax or the end of a chapter. The card is ruled by the Sun in Gemini, which implies that it is egocentric and characterized by transitory thought. The Sun is a symbol of our ego and our active conscious being, and so this card can relate to a personal drive towards self-realization. This is the last incentive to perform a daring act of transformation, Like all the 10s, this card has reached the lowest position possible, See Malkuth and the Tree of Life, and cannot descend any further. Instead, it completely changes suit and transforms into the next small card in the sequence, the Two of Skulls. The 10th card of each suit contains within it the essence and seed, the ace, of the new suit in the cycle, which is born as the two, and so the tarot turns eternally. This card also symbolizes self-sacrifice or martyrdom. Perhaps we are gracefully putting our own needs to one side for the benefit of another. Or perhaps someone is sacrificing for us and we should be more thankful. Maybe we are being urged to think of others first, or not to be oversensitive about issues or situations. Many of the cards in Phantasmagoria have a macabre or sinister feel, but this is only a means to express emotions that may arise in life. For example, this card can be merely illustrating a feeling of being tired, a call to make some changes and relax. The 10 of Knives can be the provocation for us to realize our true place in the world, Malkuth, and can cause us to reflect on our childhood or past experiences. This can be the final stage of personal development, where all we believe or dream to be true is indeed the truth. Our truth manifests in the external world from the depth of our soul, born in our spirit. All the world is a stage onto which we can project a phantasmagoria of deep, dark beauty, poetry, and wondrous life from our own inner magic lantern. And the shadow of this card, the 10 of Knives. Ruin, defeat, disruption, or impending failure, total destruction, undisciplined impertinence, hostility, a lack of energy or direction, desolation, losing the will to live, catastrophe, misfortune, depression, violence, conflict or oppression, fatalism, feeling powerless, self-pity, war and tyranny, revolt, environmental destruction, and death. It's a beautiful message. It's a message of transformation. It's a message of letting go of being tired and just feeling less than. As I was saying, when I was in my early 20s and I was going through my goth stage, I started reading Anne Rice's novels, and I started to listen to a band called Him. And they sang about vampire love, endless love. And, you know, as a teenager or a young adolescent growing up feeling as like an outsider to the world, we just wish that we could tap into an eternal love, a dark, eternal love. And I know that I'm not the only one that wishes or that hoped or wished that I could have been a vampire, or that I could live eternally and see the world change. There are many like me, and perhaps this video is just to let those of you out there who connect with the vampire know that you're not alone, that we are connected by humanity. We are connected by our blood that flows through our veins, our lifeblood. And when we look into another person's eyes, we see their soul deep in the windows of their soul, their eyes. We see who they are. We can tap into the energy of that person without having to, like a vampire, drink the blood of another human. We can simply look into another human's eyes and reach deep down and see what they're all about. And even though vampires don't exist in reality, at least the ones like in Anne Rice's novels, we can tap into the energy of the vampire and see things with fresh eyes and see the beauty of different individuals and the beauty of life, and be grateful for the opportunity to see the sun. So I hope this was an interesting vampire diary excerpt for you. It was short and sweet, but it was enjoyable for me to record for you. I will see you in my next video. Bye.